Councilman Cahill, would you lead us in the pledge?
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Dolly, would you please call the roll?
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi,
Present.
Councilman Abbott,
Here.
Councilman Cahill,
Here.
Councilwoman Wynn,
Here.
Town Attorney Genesi.
Present.
The first item on our agenda tonight is a proclamation, one that I am very pleased and honored to give to the NEQALS group. And it looks like the whole group is here tonight. I'm going to ask Councilman Cahill to join me at the podium because he is the liaison to this department. And if you would all come up, that would be great.
You all. Board members, everybody. Everybody. Spouses.
Should we get some behind us too? If we're gonna get this all- Yeah, absolutely. We're going to need a bigger room.
You got a base. You guys come over this way.
Come on in.
Got it wide enough?
Get behind us, yeah.
Don't worry.
Because we are going to get a photo when we're finished with this.
You
Phyllis,
gotta
come
squish
on
more.
in.
Let's squish a lot.
Don't be shy.
Short people in front, tall people in
There we
back.
go.
There you go.
I think we're good right now,
Get
don't
everybody
you? Okay. So this is a proclamation for outstanding public service presented to Nichols. Whereas in 1974, President Gerald Ford authorized EMS Week to celebrate EMS practitioners in the important work they do in our nation's communities. This year, the week of May 15th through the 21st is designated the 47th Annual National EMS Week. Whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, educators, administrators, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of emergency medical services teams engage in thousands of hours of specialized training and continued education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas Nichols was founded in 1988 and since then has responded to tens of thousands of calls to provide assistance and emergency advanced life support to citizens in the town of Webster, Penfield, and Ontario, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And whereas in October 2016, Webster Emergency Medical Services was formed, the calls for WEMS went from under 500 calls in 2016 to almost 4,000 calls in 2021. And together with Nichols, they supported the community throughout the pandemic by providing COVID tests and supplies, homebound vaccinations, and much more. And now therefore be it resolved that on this occasion, the Webster Community and Webster Town Board extend our sincerest thank you to Nichols' team, who drastically improved the survival and recovery rate of those in our community. And we proclaim the week of May 15th through the 21st, 2022 as EMS Week. Thank you all for all that you do for this community.
Thank you.
You don't. He's at a loss for words. All right.
Good, Em?
We're good?
You want the microphone down so you can not have? All right, perfect.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yes. And thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Paul. Thanks, Mr. Abbott.
Yep, welcome.
Half of us wouldn't be
Hey,
here.
hey, how are you?
So, thank you.
The microphone's on. It must be my ears.
I think Karen told me.
I don't know if you know that. It's because of where I'm positioned.
Okay. All right, the next item on the agenda this evening is a public hearing to establish/extend a sewer district for Woodard Road. Is there anyone here who wishes to speak to this? Doesn't look like it. Art, do you want to talk a little bit about this?
Yes, I will. So Woodard Road, the residents have come to the town requesting a sewer extension due to the poor condition of their septic systems and the inability to get them repaired due to the soil conditions. The public hearing is a prerequisite driven by the New York State Comptroller to get approval due to the fact that the cost for this is over their threshold, their 2022 threshold. So,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
And I will say that this was posted in the May 4th edition of the Webster Herald as required for the public hearing. Do any of the board members have any questions?
Art, what percent of the residents requested it?
There are 7 residents, 6 have signed on.
Okay, thank you.
And what is the requirement of those residents' percentage?
I'm sorry,
The requirement percentage for those residents to sign on is,
50%.
50?
51%.
yep, great, thank you. I should have closed the public hearing before we started the conversation. I will close the public hearing. Thank you. This appears to be a non-issue. Does anyone have, are we willing to entertain the resolution now and make the
Yes.
motion? Yes? Councilman Abbott? You good with that?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. So at a regular meeting of the Town Board of the Town of Webster, held at the Town Board Meeting Room in the Town of Webster on the 19th day of May 22nd at 7:30, all were present. Supervisor Flaherty is not here. Whereas Paul and Helen Sleeman, Pappas Convenient Inc., Andrew and Kara Foote, Jeremy and Mary Beth Covert, Alex and Stacy Zabo, Christopher Anschutz and Heather Horvath, the owners of certain parcels of land in an affected portion of Woodard Road, known as 1673, 1680, 1681, 1683, 1690, 1704 Woodard Road, are desirous of extending sanitary sewer to their property. Such parcels identified as tax ID numbers 051.03-1-3, .1, 050.02-1-30.1, 051.03-1-4, 051.03-1-6, 050.02-1-30.2, 050.02-1-29. And whereas total cost for this extension to the existing sewer district is estimated not to exceed $142,000, whereas these parcels are added to the district, it will also be added to the townwide sewer district and will be charged a capital fee, currently $32.50 annually, and once connection and operation and maintenance fee, currently $158.95 annually. A one-time entrance fee, currently $1,000, will be charged at the time of connection. Whereas the owners of the affected parcels to be added will grant easements to the town of Webster for the construction of said sanitary sewer improvements. Those easements will be recorded and shown on the map. The notice of public hearing was published on May 4th in the Webster Herald. All interested parties had the opportunity to speak at the public hearing. Now therefore be it resolved, the Town Board of the Town of Webster does hereby authorize and approve the construction of certain sewer improvements along a portion of Woodard Road in the Town of Webster, servicing the above parcels and residences located on Woodard Road. The maximum estimated total cost for this is not to exceed $142,000. The maximum amount to be financed by the issuance of bonds pursuant to the local finance law shall be $142,000. The maximum annual cost of the improvements to the affected parcels and properties is estimated at $1,420. The estimated cost to each of these parcels will be the capital fee and the maintenance fee with a one-time connection charge. The town board is hereby authorized and directed to obtain definite plans and specifications with the assistance of counsel as required by town law. Any cost of publication, including easements, will be paid by and reimbursed to the town by the property owners. The town board hereby determines that based upon the information in the environmental assessment form and other available information, the proposed project will not have a significant effect on the environment within the meaning of seeker and does not require the preparation of an environmental impact statement. And that's my motion.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is open to the floor, and I believe Mr. John Ernst would like to speak this evening. And if you'd kindly give your address, that would be appreciated.
Yep. I'm John Ernst. I live at 1080 Lake Road, Webster. Quick, totally unnecessary background. I grew up over on Bay Road in West Webster. I went to the old four-room wooden West Webster schoolhouse. I graduated from the old Webster High School, which is now Spry Middle School, in 1954. And I need your help. We moved into 1080 Lake Road in 1998. So we've lived there about 23 years. For most of that time, up until a couple of years ago, it was really quite pleasant. But about the time that the pandemic hit, people have decided to use that parking lot that goes to the beach and also the one up at the corner of Holt Road as a playground for non-recreational vehicles. If you look at the parking lot down there at the beach, those black circles you see are not crop circles. They're left by people spinning their trucks and other cars in circles. At times the smoke has been so bad that you can't see the pumping station and the outhouse in that parking lot. This has been going on for about 2 years. It starts about 7 o'clock in the morning. Not heavy at that time, but some of them are in there then, off and on through the day. And then in the late afternoon up through about 10, 11 o'clock, sometimes 12 o'clock, it gets heavy. People like to come in apparently and show off to their friends that they're capable of making loud noises with their vehicles, both with spinning tires and open exhaust systems. And they do it both in the parking lot at the lakeside and going out that parking lot, racing up Lake Road to the parking lot on Holt Road and turn around and come back to the parking lot at the beach. This has gone on now for a couple of years. I've talked to Tom Flaherty about it. He kind of shrugs and hasn't been able to do anything about it. I've talked to the county because it's a county park. They say, well, it's really up to the town of Webster to take care of it. I point out that the county has all sorts of regulations for the use of their parks, which prohibit undue noise or disturbance of the peace. And they kind of shrug their heads and say, well, call the police. Okay, so I talked to the police department. The police department said, well, you need to call 911 and we'll get on it. So many times I've called 911 when it just got unbearable. And 911 says, okay, we'll relay the message, which I believe they do. but I'm thinking that the people that are doing this probably have a police radio with them, because strangely enough, immediately after I call 911, all the noise goes away, at least for a couple hours. And then it starts up again, and it just keeps going day after day after day. So I need your help, if you can, to help me find a solution and make this a peaceable neighborhood again. I mean, that particular parking lot is used by many, many, many people every night to watch the sunset. But this noise and commotion is going on around them all the time. I have no way of verifying it. I've been told that most of the people that are involved are not from Webster. They come in from other places to play there. And, you know, I understand motorcycles make noise. These aren't motorcycles. The motorcycles come down the road, they go in, they go out, whatever. They're reasonably good citizens. But these people are just there to play and make as much noise and commotion as they possibly can. And they do it on, and it makes living there very uncomfortable, and it's not easy. It's not Webster. So I hope you can help me. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ernst. I'm sorry that you're living with that. I will speak to the police chief and see if perhaps they can add some additional patrols in that area as opposed to waiting for a 911 call. I'll make sure that it's on his radar so he can speak to the road sergeant and see if they can't have the patrols at least stop by and, you know, check on that every once in a while, make it part of their route. And please don't hesitate to reach back out to us if things are not improving. Okay?
Thank you much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming in this evening. Unfortunately, this is not a problem that's unique to Webster from what I hear and read in the news. Once the good weather starts, we've got all kinds of craziness out on the roads with the unlicensed ATVs and all of that. Unfortunately, these cars, from what I understand, are licensed. But we'll see if we can't get some extra patrol in that area. The next, is there anyone else who would like to speak this evening? No? Okay. The next item on the agenda is minutes to be considered for approval. I will move that we approve the April 28th, 2022 workshop minutes as submitted by the town clerk.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye. I will move that we approve the May 5th, 2022 town board meeting minutes as submitted by the town clerk.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Abstain.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye. And consideration to approve purchase orders, bills. Do I remember it with Councilman Abbott?
Yep. I was in Wednesday, reviewed all the bills, everything was in order, and I will say it's the least number of bills I've ever had to check.
That's always a welcome thing.
Wow.
I will second that.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye. And I move that we approve the prepaid warrants as submitted by the Director of Finance.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Next, we have a resolution to authorize acceptance of the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services Live Scan Equipment Grant. Second.
Is that a motion?
Not yet. Does anybody have any questions about this?
No.
Okay. Do I need to read all this, Charlie?
No.
No? All right,
I
then,
think just-
then that is my motion.
Okay.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
The next is a resolution to issue a 30-day temporary certificate of occupancy to Russell P. Lefroy Builder at 875 Hard Road for the URMC Oncology build-out pursuant to Town Code 86-25. Josh, do you have any comments about this?
Pat and Mary have the majority.
Pat and Mary? Let's just go down the table.
Yeah, sure. So we've been reviewing the site against the design plans, and there's a few outstanding items on a punch list that has been issued to Lefroy. So this temporary C of O is to give them access to the building, but also ensure that the rest of the site design is completed in full.
When you say access, does that mean they can be, does it allow them to operate out of the building at this time until the permanent CFO is issued?
I believe so. It would have the same ability as a C of O, but they have the 30-day timeline to finish out
Okay.
the remaining items.
Thanks.
Pat, do you have anything to add?
No, I was just here in case there was questions. A few of the items are stormwater related. The final establishment of a couple of the stormwater features, treatment features, bioretention area, other than major things. But beyond that, they've made some good progress in the last few weeks, checking off some of the punch list items. There's just a few left.
Okay.
So I'm very confident that they'll be able to get those done within this window and get the permanent C of O so that those tenants can move forward with the process, which I've been told is pretty lengthy for them to actually get in there. They have to apply for certain things. So we're trying to make sure that we get conformance with the approved site plans, but still work with the developer to make progress.
Okay, thank you. And from what I understand, there's different segments to this building. So for one area, it goes in, then this one is for oncology. I understand the next will be for ophthalmology, and that process goes along with each of those tenants, correct?
Yeah, it's quite unique. I believe there was multiple building permits pulled because of the multiple uses and some of the specialty uses within the building and the unique tenants that they have going in. So yeah, it's not your typical
Right.
Circumstance.
Okay. And you're in communication with the builder, so everybody's on board with what needs to be done in the punch list and good
Believe so. Yeah,
communication?
we've coordinated with them, and like I said, they've made some good progress on the storm-related items in the last couple of weeks, which is excellent to see. They're well on their way to getting to where they need to be, so we don't have any risk to any other residents in the area and drainage issues and things of that nature. So yes, they've been very responsive and working with us on all of the issues, just a matter of getting them tied up and complete.
Thank you. Any other questions?
No.
No? I move that we issue a 30-day temporary certificate of occupancy to Russell P. Lefroy Builders, Inc. at 875 Hard Road for the URMC Oncology build-out pursuant to Town Code 86-25.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye. You're welcome. The next, we have another resolution for a town-wide sanitary sewer district extension, specifically the Linda Lane extension. This public hearing was held on May 5th with really no comment. So we are moving this to the resolution tonight. Anybody have any questions?
No.
Billy, you want to read it?
Okay.
You can skip over.
The resolution is for the sanitary sewer district extension on Linda Lane, whereas Ronald and Sharon Gentile, Donna Marquardt, Bernard Marquardt, and Denise Dozier, Florence Fomina, Jeffrey and Sarah Presidio, Judy Bay Conrose, and the owners of certain parcels of land in affected portion of Linda Lane in the town of Webster, known as 159 and 11 Linda Lane, 780 Holt Road, 1130 Orchard Road vacant, are desirous of extending the sanitary sewer on their property. So such parcels, also identified as tax ID number 079.08-1-1, 079.08-1-3, 079.08-1-2, 064.20-2-50, 079.0811.11, 079.08-1.1.12, 079.08-1-1.13. And whereas the total cost of the extension of this is $179,000, once the parcels are added to the district, it will be added at a townwide district with a capital fee charge of $32.50 annually. Once connected in operation, the maintenance fee will be $158.95, and a one-time entrance fee of $1,000 will be charged at the time of connection. Whereas the owners of the granted affected parcels will be added to grant easements to the town of Webster for construction of said sanitary sewer improvements, which easements will be recorded and shown on a map as prepared for the town of Webster or townwide district. Whereas the total estimated cost of adding the parcel to townwide district will be paid by the residents of those properties will be affected and benefited thereby. If approved, in the addition of these parcels, the residents of Linda Lane Extension to townwide sewer district will result in a revision of the map, plan, and report of the extension and district. And whereas there's both public interest and required by law that a public hearing be held to consider the proposed additions to these parcels and residents to Linda Lane Extension of townwide district. Therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of Town of Webster does hereby authorize and approve the construction of certain sewer improvements along a portion of Linda Lane in the Town of Webster, servicing the above parcels, the residents located on Linda Lane, Holt Road, and Orchard Road in the Town of Webster. The maximum estimated cost of this project will be $179,000. The maximum amount to be financed and issued in bonds would be $179,000. The maximum annual cost of the improvements and affected properties are estimated to be $1,390. The estimated cost for each of the parcels will be a capital fee, and once connected in the operation, a maintenance fee, and once time entrance fee of one will be charged at the time of connection. Town Board is hereby authorized and directed to obtain definite plan specifications with the assistance of council as required by town law and enter into any contract or contracts needed for such improvements, provided the price of such contract or contracts as aggregate does not exceed the maximum cost estimated above. Any costs of publications or recordings of the documents included easements necessary to affect the additions will be paid and reimbursed to the town by the property owners. The town hereby determines that based upon the information in the environmental assessment form, other available information, the proposed project will not have a significant effect on the environment within the meaning of seeker and does not require a preparation of environmental impact statement.
Thank you for doing that. Second?
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Now we have a resolution to approve a license agreement at 1218 Majestic Way for a shed in the town of Webster's drainage easement. Is there anyone here who would like to speak to that?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank
I'm
you.
Erin Altmeyer. This is my husband, Rob. We're here because we were here, I think, last year to get permission to put up a fence around our property. And during that meeting, we were told we needed to come back and formalize the fact that there's a shed on the property. So that's why we're here.
Thank you. And the shed was there when you purchased the property?
Yeah.
Okay. Mary, Pat?
I was involved in this initially when it came in, so there's a stormwater easement along the back of their property, which is why we were originally here for the fence. When we went out to look for the fence, the shed had already previously been located in there. There's no drainage issues at this time within that easement, no blockages or anything like that, so I'm favorable to granting the agreement to leave the shed in its current location. We just need this agreement in place in case that situation changes and there is a drainage situation that impacts other residents. We need to maintain the ability to access that area and make the adjustments needed regardless of things that might be in the way, like a shed. So same premise as the fence. There's no adverse impacts by the current situation, but we need to maintain the ability to address things if something should arise in the future, given it's in an easement. So,
Thanks.
Thank you. I have no further questions. Anyone else?
I'm fine.
I can address this so you don't have to read it.
Who wrote this?
Go for it.
Okay. The Altmeyers have already gone through this process before. You know that I will take care of preparing the license agreement. I'll send it to you for your signature and tell you how much it'll cost to file. I prepared this resolution. There's nothing here that's unusual. They're going to put a shed 5 feet from the northeast corner of the property. It's already been approved and reviewed by the superintendent of highways and by community services. So I don't think there's nothing here really to add. There's nothing special about this at all.
Thank you.
They already have a fence in
Yes.
the license agreement. Or I'm sorry, they already have a fence in the easement and they have a
Yes.
license agreement for that. So this is basically just another item or structure that's going to be in the easement, same easement.
So they're
And
add-
the only, sorry,
I thought it was an existing shed.
so did I. It is an existing shed, for
Yeah.
clarification?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And the only thing I want to comment on is, because I don't want anyone to be surprised by this, that should we have to get in and do some maintenance and that shed is the casualty of that, then you're responsible for that.
Yep.
Okay. I would move that we approve a license agreement at 1218 Majestic Way for a shed in the town of Webster's drainage easement.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
And they've got your contact information and all for the license agreement.
Yeah, I'll take care of it.
Great, thank you. The next is a resolution to declare the following as surplus for purchase by retired Lieutenant Jason Thomas from the Police Department at replacement market value, a Glock duty pistol, asset tag 896888.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye?
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Crushing it, Patty. Just crushing it.
And I would move that we transfer the following items from the Town Clerk's Department to the Town Attorney. 14 New York State Attorney General books, tag number 3119. 30 New York State Comptroller books, asset tag 3120. And 10 New York State Consolidated Law Services, asset tag 3121.
Second.
Deputy Supervisor Cataldi?
Aye?
Councilwoman Wynn?
Aye.
Councilman Cahill?
Aye.
Councilman Abbott?
Aye.
Is your office big enough for all of that, Charlie?
It's already in there. I think they snuck it in when I was not around. So,
Can you get in? That's all we have on the formal agenda tonight. So in keeping with tradition, we'll go around the tables to see if anyone has any news or information to share. Mr. Patron.
We are moving forward rapidly with our contractor interviews and basis of design for the wastewater treatment plant upgrade. The staff has been out, obviously taking advantage of the good weather, doing flushing and keeping everything going.
Thank you. Pat, what's going on at Highway?
Yeah, we're starting our summer road maintenance program. Right now, the majority of the work you'll see is concrete gutters being replaced. Those are being replaced on streets that will receive our chip seal surface treatment. Within a month, we will begin working on our capital project, which is the completion of High Tower Way Circle. That's a complete reconstruction, new gutters and new paved surface. Throughout the rest of that neighborhood, we did half of it last year. So we're getting started on those programs, out doing some drainage maintenance, starting on that long list that spans multiple years, but we're picking away at it. We've already got a couple of items checked off of that. And also still doing some work for Monroe County Parks around the county, actually. We're in Webster Park. This past week, we're actually doing a little bit of paving for them at Powder Mills Park down in Bushnell's Basin. So
Great.
staying busy.
Good. Thank you. Mary?
Yeah, so the Sandbar Park project is moving along. They're still doing a lot of fill operations, and then today they were installing a temporary road. They'll have a signalized one-way traffic going on. So starting tomorrow, it's going to be one way. I think it's a 2 to 2.5 minute sequence of the signals changing. So a little bit slower, but you'll be on pavement the whole time, and you can get through that area. And I'll also mention, I know it's project season for everyone, so make sure you reach out to the town if you want to do any grading on your property. There are fill and excavation permits that are required just to ensure that drainage isn't affected by your neighboring residents. And also reach out to the building department if you want to make any other property improvements.
Thank you. Josh?
Yes, we officially kicked off the West Webster Hamlet Revitalization Plan. We had our first Citizen Steering Committee meeting last night at the DeWitt Road Elementary School. It was very well attended, very productive meeting, and I know folks have been waiting quite a while for this project to commence, and we're excited that it finally has. There will be a more broad opportunity for public input. We're going to be launching a web page where anyone from the general public can leave comments, identify issues on a map, opportunities, assets, things of that nature. And we will be having a public open house later this summer as well for the public to attend. So as the project progresses, we will be reporting back to the community and certainly looking for their input.
Good. That's great news. That is a much needed facelift for that area, an area that's very historic, and lots of opportunity there. So glad to hear it's off and running.
And I'll also mention that the Webster Museum has an exhibit on display currently showing the history of the West Webster Hamlet. So I'm looking forward to getting over there and taking a look at that.
Good. Paul?
About a week ago, we got the 2023 budget process underway. The initial requests, reports, and whatnot were sent out to the various department heads, so they'll have about the next month or so to put that together. Then we'll have preliminary meetings to review what they put together. Secondary meetings if necessary, and then we'll have televised workshops on July 28th and August 4th.
Good. Thank you. Back to budget again.
Yep,
We're never out of it.
never.
No. Councilman Abbott?
I don't have anything to add.
No. Councilwoman Nguyen?
Well, anyway, I would like to congratulations to Nicole. Thanks for all they do. And thank you, Josh, for shouting out about the Webster Museum there, because I'm their liaison. And please come and support our Webster Museum and support our Webster Library. We've got a lot of unique things for your family. And another thing too, Memorial Day is coming up. So please reach out to our veterans and, come visit the graves of all our fallen heroes and pay tribute to them. And also our heart and prayers with the victims in Buffalo. May God bless America.
Thank you, Ginny. Councilman Cahill?
Yes, I have a couple things in that it is motorcycle season and coincides with grass cutting season. Just remind people, please don't blow your clippings into the street. It's pretty hazardous for motorcycle riders. So, the other thing is the town is still accepting grant applications for the utilization of the ARPA funds for 501c3 businesses. And it's open until the end of May, correct?
I believe so.
I just wanted to remind all the businesses out there, 501c3s.
Thank you.
Yep.
Good.
Everything's
Attorney Genesi.
relatively under control.
At the moment?
The town clerk and I have been working on the home rule legislation that we're hoping within the next couple of weeks will be to the state legislature passed and then onto the governor's desk. So.
And I have seen the emails going back and forth on that, so thank you for working on that, and thank you, Dolly. Do you have any announcements?
I'd just like to mention that residents have 2 more weeks to make their tax payment at my office. After that time, you'll have to submit it directly to the county.
Thank you. I would just like to say that the supervisor is not here this evening because he's attending a graduation. His daughter Bridget is graduating from University of Tennessee, I believe. So congratulations to Bridget, and I hope they have a wonderful family weekend celebrating that. And with that, I will close the meeting.